Hey guys, how are you? Another literature break for you this afternoon. And this one is from a book I'm still reading. Is that's probably pretty good. And it's called Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. And this is by Susan Cain. So there's a lot of great bits in here, but I'm going to read a section about some stuff in the financial markets. So it's basically helping introverts find their way in America. Let's see. At about the same time I evaluated that portfolio of loans, I heard a story circulating on Wall Street about a competition among investment banks for a prestigious piece of business. Each of the major banks sent a squad of their top employees to pitch the client. Each team deployed the usual tools, spreadsheets, pitch books, and PowerPoint presentations. But the winning team added its own piece of theatrics. They ran into the room wearing matching baseball caps and t-shirts emblazoned with the letters FUD, FUD, an acronym for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. In this case, FUD had been crossed out with an emphatic red X. FUD was an unholy trinity. That team, the vanquishers of FUD, won the contest. Disdain for FUD and for the type of person who tends to experience it is what helped cause the crash, says Boykin Curry, a managing director of the investment firm Eagle Capital, who had front row seats to the 2008 meltdown. Too much power was concentrated in the hands of aggressive risk takers. For 20 years, the DNA of nearly every financial institution morphed dangerously, he told Newsweek magazine at the height of the crash. Each time someone at the table pressed for more leverage and more risk, the next few years proved them right. These people were emboldened, they were promoted, and they gained control over ever more capital. Meanwhile, anyone in power who hesitated, who argued for caution, was proved wrong. And these are in quotes, the right and wrong. The cautious types were increasingly intimidated, passed over for promotion. They lost their hold on capital. This happened every day in almost every financial institution, over and over, until we ended up with a very specific kind of person running things. Curry is a Harvard Business School grad, and with his wife, Celery Kemble, a Palm Beach-born designer, a prominent fixture on New York political and social scenes. Which is to say that he would seem to be a card-carrying member of what he calls the go-go aggressive crowd, and an unlikely advocate for the importance of introverts. But one thing he's not shy about is his thesis that it was forceful extroverts who caused the global financial crash. People with certain personality types got control of capital and institutions and power, Curry told me, and people who are congenitally more cautious and introverted and statistical in their thinking became discredited and pushed aside. Vincent Kaminsky, a Rice University Business School professor who once served as managing director of research for Enron, the company that famously filed for bankruptcy in 2001 as a result of reckless business practices, told the Washington Post of a similar story of a business culture in which aggressive risk-takers enjoyed too high a status relative to cautious introverts. Kaminsky, a soft-spoken and careful man, was one of the few heroes of the Enron scandal. He repeatedly tried to sound the alarm with senior management that the company had entered into business deals risky enough to threaten its survival. When the top brass wouldn't listen, he refused to sign off on these dangerous transactions and ordered his team not to work on them. The company stripped him of his power to review company-wide deals. There have been some complaints, Vince, that you're not helping people to do transactions. The president of Enron told him, according to Conspiracy of Fools, a book about the Enron scandal. Instead, you're spending all your time acting like cops. We don't need cops, Vince. But they did need them and still do. When the credit crisis threatened the viability of some of Wall Street's biggest banks in 2007, Kaminsky saw the same thing happening all over again. Let's just say that all the demons of Enron have not been exorcised, he told the Post in November of that year. The problem, he explained, was not only that many had failed to understand the risks the banks were taking, it was also that those who did understand were consistently ignored, in part because they had the wrong personality style. Many times I have been sitting across the table from an energy trader, and I would say, "Your portfolio will implode if this specific situation happens." And the trader would start yelling at me and telling me that I'm an idiot, that such a situation would never happen. The problem is that on one side, you have a rainmaker who is making lots of money for the company and is treated like a superstar. And on the other side, you have an introverted nerd. So who do you think wins? So if you're an introvert or know any introverts or would like to be more introverted, this is a great book to check out. All right, cool. I hope you guys have a great weekend and happy belated Bastille Day. Take care.